So what's up? How's it going today? In this video, we're going to look at how the CAGED system can be applied to minor chords and how it works, but it's not quite perfect. So let's dive into it. The CAGED system is basically just thinking about the five, typical open chords you've got. G, C, D, just going through C or C, A, G, E, D, right, in that order. And I've got another video explaining this and how it works to apply these movable chords over there. So if you haven't seen that, check that out first. But assuming you have seen that and you know what's going on, let's apply it to minor chords if you haven't done so already. And you probably already have a little bit, but maybe not to all of them. So the first one, and the easiest, we're going to go in the order of most common and easiest, would be E minor, right? So open E minor. Imagine we're playing like this. You're barring down here behind the nut here. You slide it up. Maybe 3 frets, we'll do a G minor. And there it is. So probably the most common, this almost sounds like corny, most corny minor movable chord, but the most common one probably be this one right here. So maybe you knew it, but you didn't already think, oh, that's related to the E minor shape. So that's what that is. Moving on to the next one. A minor. If we played it like this, slid it up here, so maybe the 3rd fret, that would be C minor. So we've got G minor, C minor, and the E minor, A minor shapes. And then the next one is starting to get a little trickier, D minor. If we play it like this, it's starting to be a little bit of a stretch. Say we slid it up here to 2nd fret. This would be E minor. And a lot of this too, if you don't know this, we have to start learning the notes to move it, especially further up. You have to look at the lowest note, lowest in pitch of each one as the easiest way to figure it out. And that's going to be the name of the chord. So E right here. So E minor shape, or you could do E major, which actually is even harder. I can feel it right here in my hand. It's kind of tense. So this one fits in a little easier, but still not the most comfortable. So we're leaving the comfort zone here. And then the next one, C minor. There really isn't a normal kind of C minor people typically play with an open C minor. So you could just not play this E here. We have to lower this here, switch the fingers around. So it works, but it's just not that common. It works okay here, but to then make it a movable chord, say if we did D minor, you'd be doing this. Okay, I can barely even do it here. Slide it up to the 5th fret here. Here's our D. And it's like, ooh, you can just barely do that. This is one of those chords that if you do it higher up, it's not so bad. So if I did it, say right here on a B, actually it's still kind of bad, but because the frets are closer together, it definitely makes it a lot easier. So not the most practical chord. So we could just say, well, forget it. This is where it doesn't entirely work, but we can salvage stuff from the scraps here. We can take little pieces. Instead of the whole thing, we could just do these 3 or these 3. So they're technically triads. They're these little 3-note chords that are the building blocks of chords. If you don't know, we know what those are. So you can still salvage it and be thinking, let's go to this C minor shape there. But the most useful part of this way of thinking is relating it to the open chords we already know well. So because we probably don't play C minor like this too often, if ever, it ends up being not too useful, So we'll move on to the last one, and this is really kind of the least helpful. And that would be G minor. So again, it's like, there's a, this B right here and here. We need to lower that. So we could do this. It does sort of work. You don't see it too often, but it actually works some ways better than the C minor, the open version. Or something like this. We could put this here. So there's ways of doing it, But then when we translate it to a movable version of it, say A, then it's really impossible really to get the whole thing across here, or almost impossible. So again, we could do little pieces like that, or this up here, this, and maybe add this. So the idea is just take little pieces of these difficult ones and find things that work for you. But the whole idea of thinking about it in terms of relating to something you already know starts to break down with the last two. So that's how you apply the CAGED system to the minor chords. It does work great with the first two, middle one okay, and then the last two not so much, so it's not quite as perfect as the major chords. But still very helpful to start navigating your way beyond this open chord section and to open up your chord knowledge and your voicing. So give it a shot, just try out, do what you can with it, and have fun. I'll see you in the next video.